Hi ladies, there is somebody very special that I have been waiting for you to meet. Finally, I have him here. Are you ready? Hi, cute stuff. Hi. Guys, this is my new puppy. This is Gus. I have been so excited for him to meet you. He's just waking up out of a nap. I am just obsessed. I got him 3 days ago and he is just the sweetest, the most cuddly, the best puppy ever, and I can't stop smiling. I'm officially in my mom era and it's just been so fun getting to know him and getting to take care of him. He literally weighs 1 pound. He is so tiny and so fluffy. And we've just been having such a good time. I have been so excited to introduce him. Let's see. You guys are actually the first ones to meet him because I haven't even posted him on Instagram. I wanted you on YouTube to meet him here first. So this is Gus. Hi. Can you meet the glow girls? Say hi. I can't even see his eyes. Oh my gosh. So we're gonna do a Q&A in this video. I wanted to do another chit chat and girly hangout and just catch up with you ladies, see how you're doing. I had posted on Instagram a poll on my story for you to ask any questions, personal or inner work related. You ladies sent in wonderful questions and I'm so excited to get started. So Gus is just gonna be down here casually making appearances. Hi. And actually, let me talk about his name, where it comes from. So growing up, I always loved the movie Cinderella. And there was a character, it was a little mouse in Cinderella named Gus Gus. And I always wanted him. Like, I just wanted him following me around the house and to be able to play with him. And so anytime I would watch this movie, I would just dream, I wish that I had a Gus Gus of my own. And I've officially been living here in Dubai for 1 year, and something has switched in me where I feel like now I am ready to care for a puppy and really give it so much love and so much nurturing. I have so much love to give, and yeah, he's he's just perfect. So I've been waiting 2 months for him. He is a teacup poodle. He is my hair twin. I love that we both have curly hair, and that's why I named him Gus. Also, if you have seen Pandora's collection of rings, they have that Cinderella ring. This is the Cinderella ring. I just love it so much, and I got this right before getting Gus because I thought this is gonna go perfect once he arrives. Okay, let's get into the Q&A. I could just talk about him all day. Let's do one more quick appearance before we start. He's so mad at me for waking him up. Right now we're working on potty training and it's going okay, honestly. He only pees inside the house a couple of times, but I'm just trying to get him to ring a bell for when he has to go outside. That's honestly been very hard to get him to do that because he's so scared of everything. Any sound, anything really scares him. Right, bud? Right. Okay, I think he's just gonna sleep right here. He literally weighs nothing. It's crazy. I feel like if I take him for a walk on a windy day, he'll just get blown away. Okay. Welcome in ladies, I've missed you. How are you? I really wish that I was doing this live, but just because he's not potty trained, I felt a bit stressed to live stream and watch him at the same time. I didn't realize getting a puppy, it's constant watching them like they're a newborn kid. My moms out there, I have so much respect for you. I have so much respect for what you do because he's just a dog. I can't even imagine a baby. I have to watch him every second of the day to make sure he doesn't eat anything or get into anything, and I feel like I haven't had a lot of time to just be creative and to really have that self-care time. So worth it though. But my moms out there, I just really have a lot of respect for you. This is his favorite place to lay. Every time I'm trying to read a book, read my Bible, he wants to come and lay on me. I'm like, okay, you're too cute to resist. Okay, so we're gonna do the personal Q&A first, and then we'll move into more of the inner work questions. There was a question that I kept getting over and over again, and I promise that I'll answer it. But let's start with this one first. What is your morning and your night routine? So usually I wake up at 6:30. However, I have been waking up later because I'm waking up in the middle of the night, in my mom era, right? Waking up in the middle of the night, and my sleep schedule's just been crazy. But normally what I like to do when I wake up is now I take him outside, I brush my teeth, read a devotional, read my Bible, write in my gratitude journal, and then I head to the gym immediately. I like to eat breakfast. I like to eat breakfast after the gym, but I love getting those endorphins flowing in the morning. I love sweating. I love just making sure that I'm taking care of my body and really honoring that time for myself and for my fitness and health. So, hi. That's what I do first thing in the morning. And then I get the rest of my day started, working on my business and showering, getting ready, all of that. My night routine. It looks different every single day. I am working to get a solid night routine, but here's basically what it is. I eat dinner around 6:30 or 7, and after that during dinner usually I'll watch Netflix or I'll FaceTime a friend, catch up on my phone, and then I almost always go for a walk, almost every night. It's already 100 degrees in Dubai, and it's only April. It's really hard, but I feel so good. It helps my digestive system. I get such a good night's sleep, like him. And then I shower, also write in my journal, pray, read my fantasy romance book, and then go to bed. If it's a day where my routine is off, it's usually because I'm hanging out with someone or I'm going out. And I used to be a person that would only go out on the weekends, but I made a promise to myself this year. I want to say yes to more opportunities. I want to say yes to meeting new people and going out with my friends, even if it's during the week. I used to be really strict with my routine that way, but now I'm more open. I might go out to dinner with a friend during the week, and yeah. So that's my morning and night routine. Can I sit you down? I need to see the next question. Hi. Good boy. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, it was so sweet. The other night, he woke up in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. and he just wanted to cuddle. He's sleeping in a kennel right next to my bed. And I was thinking maybe he has to go to the bathroom, and he kept motioning for me to pick him up. I picked him up, and then he just curled up right here on my neck. Oh, it was the most precious thing. For the first time, I was thinking, I'm not even mad that my sleep schedule is gonna be off. This is so worth it. My Aura ring, I haven't even checked my sleep score. By the way, guys, my neck is so stiff. So my posture has been horrible because he is so tiny. I'm constantly like this. I'm constantly bending over, and I'm constantly like cradling him. This is his favorite side. I was picking up his dog food earlier this morning, the big bag, and something shot up my back through my neck, and now it's stuck like that. It's one of those kinks in the neck. So yeah, if you see me moving stiff, that's why. Okay, what inner work did you do when first moving out and living alone for the first time? Such a good question. This was the first time in my life this last year where I was living completely alone, and it was the deepest inner work that I've ever done. Some inner work that I've done last year that I mentioned was not letting other people's opinions get to me. And that's constantly a journey of inner work, but last year it was really letting go of that completely. This year, 2025, not once have I seen a negative comment, heard criticism, been judged, where I actually felt negatively affected by it. All of last year, that is the inner work that I was doing because I was just so sick and tired of it. And I have a whole video called it's called like how to deal with haters, how to deal with judgment. All of the inner work that I did is in that video. However, I would say it's facing my shadow side. And shadow side is just the side that, how I describe it, my favorite way is think of the movie Peter Pan and think about how his shadow was constantly chasing him. He kept trying to run away from the shadow, but the shadow kept following him because he would not face it. That's what I use to my students to describe what your shadow side is. It's the part of you that is there, but we hide, we keep it in the dark because we don't want to bring it to light. It's shameful, it's scary, it's the side of us that craves things or does things that we don't like or that aren't acceptable to society, so we hide it. And so because I was living alone for the first time, I had nobody else around me telling me what to do or affecting how I showed up, so I got to see raw and authentically how I show up when I have no influence. And sometimes I would notice myself self-sabotaging. Let's say I wanted to read a book, but instead I laid on the couch and scrolled on TikTok. Those patterns, I would start to see those and go, wow, maybe my energy is off, or maybe I am scared of success. Maybe I'm scared of learning this. But there was a lot of parts of myself where I noticed I would choose the easy option, and I really quickly had to overcome that. But also I was in a lot of survival mode last year, moving from the US to the Middle East. Huge culture shock, huge detachment from my family, which was really hard and really sad. So it was learning how to manage my emotions. You know what I would say? The biggest inner work that I did moving out was having emotional regulation, because I didn't have anyone that I could talk to. My family was asleep when I was awake. My friends are asleep when I'm awake. So learning how to regulate my own emotions, learning not to turn to Netflix or food or to other people, but truly sitting and going, I feel anxious, I feel overwhelmed. I'm in a country with food I'm not familiar with, languages that I've never heard before, and it's very overstimulating. Instead of what I would do is, like I said, lay on the couch and just disconnect. I actually had to sit, hold the energy, and release it. And it was a lot. I was very, very overwhelmed last year, and I didn't realize it until the later part of the year. So learning how to regulate emotions was the biggest inner work. And also deciding that I get to do whatever I want. And I know that it sounds really crazy, but I had a really, really strict upbringing. My parents were very strict. So like I tell some of my closer friends, I didn't even have my first kiss until college. That's how strict my parents were. And so this sense of freedom and owning it, that's been inner work. Because I think to myself, am I allowed to do this? Like, am I allowed to bake banana bread in the middle of the day if I want? Am I allowed to go on this date that I really want to go to? It was giving myself permission again and again, because I truly tasted the ultimate freedom living alone. And people ask, why don't you get roommates? Roommates are not for me. I've had roommates in college. It was so fun, but living alone, it is everything. To me, it is the biggest luxury that someone can have, to know yourself and do whatever you want, to dance, run around naked, be free, truly do whatever you want, and have that peace, have that stillness. I love it. I would not trade it for the world. So I'm really grateful. Okay, let's get this question out of the way, because this is the number one that I got. How is your romance life? How is dating life in Dubai? Dating in Dubai is very, very different than dating in the US. And some of you ladies asked for specific story times or experiences dating. I'll share one experience with you, and I've never shared this on YouTube before, but this was something that stretched my personal rubber band for romance and for relationships. So last year I met this man, wonderful, wonderful man. And we met at the airport. It was just crazy, like it felt like a movie. And we were both traveling somewhere, and then he said, when I get back, I want to take you out. And so he did, and it was such a wonderful date. Here's what blew me away. This man, I have never felt more like a princess in my life. I mean, this man would scoop food onto my plate. I would take bites and he would be watching, and he would scoop more. He's like, do you need more? How is it? What do you need? I felt like I was truly a princess. I remember just walking away from that date. I told my friends everything that had happened, and they were like, wow, you can never go back now that you have seen this standard. And also this man, he had the best physical boundaries around intimacy that I have ever experienced from a man. Usually, you ladies know this, on the first date I will tell a man I'm saving myself for marriage. That's something that I've promised myself. It's something that I truly believe in. My body is for my husband. And so I tell men this, and their reaction is usually, wow, that's really great. This man, he told me I'm also saving myself for marriage. And I thought that was amazing. And he goes, I'd like to discuss the boundaries that we will set in our relationship while I court you. I was like, is this the movie? And it felt so unreal. I felt like I was in Bridgerton, and you ladies know that's my dream. I love men that court women, and courting is simply just having the intention for marriage and dating with the intention that I'm going to marry you. So it's almost like a commitment to get engaged. So he said that he would like to court me, and he goes, in this courting process, I would like to establish physical boundaries. That hand holding and maybe hugging at the most is the most physical that we go. no kissing, like nothing more than that. And I so respected him. I so respected him for that. I said, I completely understand, because he goes, I want to respect you and I want to respect myself. And so, oh my gosh, ladies, it was amazing. It was one of the best dates. Why that didn't work out. So I did go through this heartbreak last year, and I don't think I took enough time to really process it. I should have. I just kept going on YouTube and TikTok. So the question came up about religion, and sadly, we did not share the same religion. I'm Christian, he was Muslim, and he did tell me, he goes, you know, it's okay for a man that's Muslim to be with a woman that's Christian. He goes, I would be okay with it. And I said, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't. I really desire to be with a man that shares the same faith. The way that our intimacy would be, the way that our connection would be, the way that our values would match, everything would be so in sync. You're amazing, but I wish you the best. This is not going to work out. He respected it. It was such an emotional goodbye. I was crying so much afterwards. And yeah, it really changed me, because first of all, he raised my standards even more. I've already had very, very high standards. And by the way, ladies, never lower your standards. This is why you should never lower them. People tell me all the time, lower your standards, Alexis, you're gonna be waiting for years. I'm happy to wait. In fact, something that my friends and I were discussing is that it's kind of heartbreaking that this time in our 20s, we maybe get 1 to 5 years of dating and being single. So many people look at the single life as a curse. And I wish that I could just open people's eyes and say, this is the only time that you get to truly explore yourself without any strings attached to anyone else. This is the only time that you get to date, that you get to meet new men, that you get to be spoiled and treated like a princess and learn yourself and learn about other people. When else in your life can you have a date on Friday night, another date Saturday night, maybe another date Monday night if you want? You never get that time again. And so the way I see it is, someone asked me once, how are you happy being single? And I thought, what? This is some of the happiest moments that I'll ever get in my life. The world is yours and you get to do anything that you want. And I see that as such a blessing. And it's such I know it's a temporary blessing, maybe only a few years. Well, whatever God has for me, honestly, I trust his timeline more than my own. But I do know that marriage is coming. I have 75% of my life to enjoy marriage, give or take. Why would I spend the 25% going, I can't wait for that 75% and waste all the 25%? There's so much gold in the 25%. If my friend said, Alexis, do you want to have a sleepover tonight? I'd be like, yeah, come on over. Alexis, do you want to go to the beach tomorrow and then we'll have a shopping day? Sure, because I don't have anyone else to consider. And I hate to say this, but you get to be selfish because you are single. So enjoy that to the max, because there is so much beauty in it. I really love dating out here in Dubai. I think the men are so masculine. I think that they're so respectful. It's just very refreshing, because people out here, majority of men out here in Dubai and women, have moved from their home country to build a better life for themselves. And so why I even chose Dubai is because I wanted to place myself in an area where abundance was the norm. My rubber band has stretched so much, because the way that people think here is there are no limits. The sky, the possibilities are infinite. When they move to their home country, they have a goal, they're ambitious, they have to make it, they think outside the box. There's hundreds of cultures being blended here. I have not heard an American accent in a very long time. Most of the people that I meet here, Russian, Brazilian, from the UK, like there's such a beautiful blend of people here, and I really love it. I love it. You walk outside and you can just see like different cultures, people from Africa that are wearing pieces that are actually from Africa. You don't really see that in the US. You see everything is a bit watered down and everyone looks the same, dresses the same, talks the same. Here, not at all. It's such a melting pot. And so dating is like that too. You meet people who just blow you away and who think so abundantly. And I think it is such a blessing to live here and to experience this. Okay. Let's see. How long do you plan to stay in Dubai, and what are your plans after? I don't have a timeline. I have learned, I didn't even think that I would be living in Dubai a couple of years ago, and here I am. I just follow wherever God tells me to go. And I felt him say, come to Dubai. I'm here. I have a 2-year visa. I may renew it. I may not. I'm open to anything. If I get married and my husband is here, then that's where I'll want to be. But also I will say that I do miss my family incredibly. That's been very, very hard. I've lived in Dubai for 12 months. 6 out of those 12 months, I've been out of the country. And it's just traveling, going home to see my family, different events. So I do see myself raising my kids where my siblings and my mom are around. I cannot imagine raising my kids without my mom. You ladies have met her here on the channel. She's just everything. The best mom ever, will be the best grandma ever. So I don't know what those plans will be, but we'll see. If I get married and he wants to move somewhere else, I'm so open to that. But I don't have a city that I feel like I have to be here. I have a couple of friends who say, no matter what, when I get married, we're living here. I personally don't feel that. It could change, but yeah, I'm just open. How do you handle being taken away from your family? How often do you get to see them? Yeah, thank God for FaceTime and for voice memos, because that has saved our connection. I FaceTime my family a lot. We have a giant group chat. We do voice memos all the time. My mom, my sister, and I send each other like 20 to 30-minute voice memos almost every day. And that's how we stay in touch. I've also been back to visit them multiple times. I do plan on going back possibly in the summer. We'll see now with Gus. Hi, Gus. Yeah, it's so precious, guys. His head is just laying in my hand and he's sleeping. Oh my gosh, also I'm gonna put on the screen videos of him running. So this is from the first night that I brought him back. It was just so cute. He was just exploring the apartment, and when he runs, he bounces like a bunny. It's the cutest thing. I hope that he never outgrows this. It's just so precious. So I'll put those videos on the screen. And yesterday I also gave him his first bath. He was not very happy. And also yesterday I had a picnic with one of my girlfriends. She's actually my neighbor. And I brought him to the park. We had a blanket out, snacks. He was just exploring. He was so cute. And yeah, I'm just loving this. Like I love exploring the world with him now, and I've never had this before. So it's really nice. Okay. Let's see. Speaking of this picnic yesterday, so the craziest story, this is another reason why I love Dubai, is because the openness that people have here, the openness, the open heart, the open mind, it is so beautiful. So there's a woman when I was using the gym at my apartment, I would always see her. So beautiful, just so radiant. And one day I just went up to her and I just started talking. I said, hi, I always see you in here. What's your name? And she just stared at me for a second, pulls out her phone and uses Google Translate and goes, I don't speak English, I speak Portuguese and I'm from Brazil. And I thought, oh, okay, that's okay. And every time we would see each other in the gym, we would pull out Google Translate and just say, how are you? How's your week? And we became friends, and we would start messaging each other on WhatsApp, and we just got to know each other. So when I would message her, I would send my message in Portuguese and she would send her messages in English. It's so cute. I love girlhood. I love sisterhood and female friendships. And so yesterday, we actually met up for the first time, and I said, what do you think about having a picnic at the park where we bring books and journals and snacks, and we just use Google Translate and get to know each other and hang out? And she brought this picnic basket. It was so cute. It was so sweet. And the whole time we just have the Google Translate where you can speak and it speaks back, and I got to hear her whole story and she got to hear mine, and we got to share and connect. And she also wants to be a coach for women. She wants to do women empowerment. And I thought, yes, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to help you. And yeah, it was such an innocent, cute date, and I loved it. It taught me that nothing is truly a barrier. Languages are not barriers. It was such a cute day with her, and now I have a friend who's teaching me Portuguese, so yeah. Okay, there's a question about female friendships too. Once I get to more of the inner work Q&A, we'll go on that question. When you wake up in the morning, what motivates you? What's your North Star? Well, now it's Gus. I would say excitement for creating. I love creating. I love doing coaching calls. I love creating these YouTube videos. I love creating content on TikTok. And so I would say creating something that inspires other people, creating something that's going to change a life and bring impact to the world. That is what wakes me up in the morning. When I wake up, I think, how can I feel the best? How can I pour into myself so that now I can go and pour into other people? How can I learn about how I can take care of my body even better? How can I make my health the ultimate, the best that it can be? Because when I feel good, I do good. I just want to create and to share and to help other people feel better. You ladies see that I always share recipes. It's because I have this, I don't know what it is. I have this condition, we'll say, where when something has changed my life, I have to share it. I have to share it because I feel like if this had never been introduced to me, my life would be so different, and imagine who else needs this right now. This is what happened during COVID. I could not stop talking about feminine energy to my family and friends. I was like, guys, my life has changed since I've learned how to connect to it. And I thought, you know what? Let's just start sharing it on TikTok. And it created this whole business, The Feminine Glow. So motivation for waking up in the morning is how can I share God's love with other people? How can I make them feel loved? And how can I empower them? How can I inspire them? What can I create that will do that? I really love creative energy. It's that life force. It's that feminine energy, how we create human beings in our womb. We also create ideas and passions that really give us our purpose. So that's my North Star. That's what wakes me up in the morning. And I do feel like my purpose on this planet is to share God's love. It's to have a relationship with Him and to share His love with other people. Okay, favorite Netflix shows besides, you ladies know me so well, besides Gilmore Girls and besides Dynasty. Okay, the one that I do not talk about enough, that is my absolute favorite, is Jane the Virgin. If you have not seen this show, please watch it. It is so good. My best friend Shaylee introduced me to the show when we were teenagers, and I was hooked. So it's a telenovela style TV show, and it has Justin Baldoni in it. It has Gina Rodriguez in it. And basically what happens is there's a woman who, she dates this playboy. He does her so dirty. Justin Baldoni is a playboy. And then they go their separate ways. She goes to get a gynecologist appointment, checkup. However, the doctor, who is this playboy's sister, accidentally artificially inseminates this woman, Jane. I know that it's probably so crazy. I hope I'm explaining it good. She becomes pregnant accidentally from the playboy's sperm, who they were trying to use to get his wife pregnant, who could not have babies, or who was having a hard time having babies. She accidentally switched her appointments. One was supposed to get pregnant, one was supposed to get a checkup. Yeah, Jane ended up getting pregnant. And so the show is about navigating how her life is gonna work out. It's just so good. It's so funny. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's my absolute favorite show. Let's see. Oh, also, I was just watching The Bachelor and I was hooked. I normally don't watch reality TV shows, but one of my girlfriends was on the past season, Joey's season of The Bachelor. So I started watching it again and I got so hooked, and it's just so good. I thought Joey's season was the best. He was such an emotionally intelligent, masculine man. If you want a good example of a healthy masculine man, watch The Bachelor, Joey's season. The way that he can hold the space for women, the way that he is in tune with himself and the other contestants that he's dating, it's just so good. Do you have friends that have different spiritual beliefs than you? Yes. I will say my best friends, all of them, we share the same faith. We're all Christian, we all love Jesus. I do have friends that are Muslim, I have friends that are Jewish, I have friends that are spiritual. My best friends though, what I think is so fascinating, we all share the exact same faith. And I think that's what's really brought us close together. This is why I also always say I have to have a partner that shares the same faith, because when you know what it's like to be loved by God, to be loved by Christ, the way that you love other people is different. My best girlfriends are the perfect example of this. The way that they love me, the way that they support me, it makes me so emotional to talk about. They have God's love in them, and it has just enhanced our friendship so much. So I think we attracted each other because we have the same faith. But yes, I do have friends in my whole friendship circle that have different beliefs than I do. Let's see. What challenge? Okay, let's actually go to the next one. Okay, I love this question. What kind of mom and wife do you want to be in the future? This is so cute. I want to be a mom who raises the most healthy, the most confident, the most secure kids. I want my kids to feel like they are safe and they are free to be their authentic self. I want to have a close relationship with them. My mom and I are very close. I can tell her anything. And growing up, she was strict. She disciplined me. It was very good. But now it's like a healthy best friend relationship, and I respect her so much. I want to be a mom who is disciplined because she loves her kids. I want to be a mom who is a living example of what she is teaching. I think a big problem is sometimes you hear parents say, do this, but they're not doing it. And I hated that growing up. I thought that was so hypocritical. So I want to be a mom who is making good choices, who walks in integrity, who treats people well, who follows her dreams and gives her kids permission to do the same. So I cannot wait to have kids. I would love to have 3 to 4. We'll see though, after my first one, I'm the biggest baby with pain. But yeah, I cannot wait to be a kid, yes, that too. I cannot wait to have kids and just to have like toddlers running around the house. And I dream of growing up and having so many adult children that are all best friends and we spend the holidays together. I am the oldest of 4 siblings, and so I love big families. My siblings, I always tell my mom, I'm like, thank you for giving me siblings. I cannot imagine my life without my brothers and my sister. So I really want to give that to my kids. And I just want to do fun things like traveling together and introducing them to new cultures, new ways of thinking. I want to do family cooking nights, family movie nights, pajama parties, matching holiday pajamas, all that kind of stuff. I really want a close, intimate, safe family that's healthy and where my kids can just be free. Okay, my marriage. What kind of wife do I want to be? I am really excited for the day that I am married. I can wait, but I can't wait at the same time, if that makes sense. I want to be the type of wife that is so empowering to her husband, that fills him with motivation, with confidence. I want to be a woman that makes her husband feel like he can do anything, like he can be anyone. I want to be someone that is safe for him to open up to. My heart really goes out to men because they don't have a safe place a lot of the times to be vulnerable and to share their true self. I want to be that wife that my husband can come to me and he can feel safe to show his shadow sides, the part that is maybe dark that he doesn't want to face, or the part that is shameful. I want to be that wife where he has a safe space to release it and to share with me and to hold him and to really make him feel safe. He can share his truest, his most authentic, his most raw self, that shadow side. I dream that he feels safe to be able to share that with me and to open up, and that he can be himself truly and heal the parts of himself that maybe have never been healed, or maybe that he never has felt safe to reveal. So I really crave that intimacy in my marriage. I hope that there's so much passion and excitement and play and laughter and silliness, and also that our polarity, of course you ladies know I'm going to say this, that our polarity is so strong, that his masculine energy is so charged, my feminine energy is so charged, and we can come together and be a team that is so powerful and so magnetic and so in love. I cannot wait for that. And I also see our relationship and our marriage helping heal other marriages and other relationships. I cannot wait to get to that point and maybe see how my marriage comes into play with my business. But I'm really, really excited for that. I cannot wait. And let's see, what is the next question? How you doing now down there, bud? How would I respond if someone who wronged me reached out to me? So when this has happened before, usually I've been very open. I'm someone who believes that people can change, yes. However, I'm very protective over the boundaries of my life, especially since I started my business. My boundaries have been rock solid, because if someone who has wronged me hurts me again, that has now created something that I have to heal. And the way I see it, it's taking away energy from you. It's taking away energy that I could pour into the Glow Girls, into my community, into my business, into my programs. That's where my heart is at, is with you ladies. And so I'm very protective of my boundaries, of my time, that no one comes in. I don't believe that people can come in and mess it up, but I keep a very peaceful, healthy life. Every single relationship in my life brings me peace. There's no friend that I have, no family member that I have in my life that I have a relationship with that I feel intimidated or scared or feel like I can't be myself. Every single person in my life I trust. If I don't trust, I've removed them. And so someone who has wronged me, let's just say that someone who has wronged me, that, you know what, I'll actually give a real life example. So someone who wronged me did come back, and I was open, we had a conversation. I did say yes to that conversation because I believe people can change and because I've already forgiven. So there wasn't that pain and that resentment there. However, in the conversation, I'm asking questions. I'm asking questions to see their character and to see if anything has actually changed. There's been times when I found, yeah, maybe some things have changed. Let's see what happens here. And there's also been times where I trust my gut. Something feels off. I catch a micro expression or a body movement that feels off. That's the only way I can describe it, that nothing's truly changed. And I say, it was wonderful getting to see you, but I wish you the best. I don't want to continue this relationship. So that's my stance there. However, female friends that have disrespected me, if they come back, I don't have a place for that friendship. Because I have my best girlfriends who have never ever disrespected me, who have never ever made me feel unsafe, maybe my standard is extremely high, but the way I see it, I have my best girlfriends. I don't have any more room for, let's see where this goes. No, I don't have room. I only have room to strengthen my friendships with the women who have showed me, I love you, Alexis, you can trust me, you can depend on me. So in terms of female friendships specifically, someone who has wronged me, wish them the best. That is it. Okay, let's see. What keeps you connected to God? Constantly praying. Every day, ladies, I am praying. I'm like, when I picked up his dog food this morning and I hurt my neck, I was like, please God, take away this pain. This hurts so much. Or last night, I was having trouble falling asleep. I'm like, God, can I just feel a hug from you? Can I just feel your presence wrap around me? So it's seeing myself as a little kid. This is what I imagine when I'm praying. Before I even start my prayer and start saying what I'm thankful for, start asking God for help in certain areas, what I will do is I will close my eyes, imagine that there are a ton of clouds, that God and Jesus are standing there with their arms open, waiting to welcome me. And what I'm imagining is that they're saying, Alexis, my precious child, we've been waiting all day for you to come to us. We're so excited to have you. And I imagine myself as a little kid running to them. I know that this can sound a bit cheesy. It's what I do. It's so wonderful for me. I definitely encourage you to try it. I imagine that I'm a little kid just running to them, getting hugged by them. Sometimes maybe I'll hug myself and just getting wrapped up in love. And I can feel it. I feel so much peace, so much love. You know when people say that that man or woman has that Jesus glow? This is it. It is because you get filled by the Holy Spirit, and prayer does that. So constantly, just knowing, like, I feel God is always with me. I never feel alone because I constantly feel His presence. So just check in, praying. It doesn't have to be formal, and praying doesn't have to be hard. This is what praying sounds like. God, I love you so much. Or God, my neck really hurts. Please help me to heal it. Or God, I'm struggling right now. Please point me towards the right resource to be able to heal this. And He answers prayers. He will answer. It's really powerful. I also go to church every week. I listen to worship music. Every time I'm showering, I'm in there listening to worship music. I feel so connected to God that way. And I would also say reading my Bible every single morning. It's something that I just started doing for the first time, like physically reading a Bible. I started doing it this January. Ladies, since reading my Bible every morning, before doing any other part of my routine, I feel so much peace. Anxious thoughts? Zero. I have not had any anxiety since starting to read my Bible physically. every day this whole year 2025. I have read it because I open it up. Okay, minus the 2 days that I went back to the US and I was on the plane for like 24 hours. But every time I open it up and read it, it's like, imagine the most potent, the most strong, the most nourishing vitamin for your soul. That's what the Bible is. So that helps me really stay connected to God, is reading His word. My pastor at my church said, if you can't hear God, read Him. And I thought that was so good. She said that, I'm like, Amazon, I'm ordering a Bible. Okay. Let's see. Do you ever have down moments? Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And if I could tell everyone this, please. What you see on YouTube, yes, I do feel happy and at peace and joyful most of the time. However, I'm not always smiling. I get the comment, Alexis, you're always happy. 99% of the time, maybe. There's moments like I go through heartbreak. Like last year, you ladies didn't know, but I did go through heartbreak. There's moments that I'm down like that. I'm trying to, like when I had to say goodbye to my girlfriends, I was the bridesmaid for one of my best friends, Andy, in February. And so I went back to the US, and just being in Hawaii with them and being in their love, I have missed them so much. And having to say goodbye to them, to come back here to Dubai, I was heartbroken and I was really down. Getting back here, it's like I'm with my girlfriends, having sleepovers, enjoying their presence. And then I come back and my apartment is empty. And I'm thinking, something feels off. That was probably my last down moment. I have a ton of those. If you don't have them, maybe you're not human. Maybe you're a robot. Everyone has down moments. Please don't beat yourself up. There's even a question about how to stay in feminine energy while you have down moments. You do not have to. Please take this advice. You do not have to always be in your feminine energy. What I even teach is that you should be in the feminine if it feels good for you 80% of the time, and 20% you're in the masculine energy. And so I'm not always in my feminine energy because I am human. To me, a woman, she has so many dimensions to her. She's kind of like the ocean. Sometimes the water is calm. Sometimes the waves are very strong, very passionate. There's rage, there's anger, but then there's peace and there's stillness other times. The ocean moves. If it's not moving, all of the living creatures inside, they don't do so well. And something is off if water is just stopped. So think of yourself as water. Have moments where you have huge releases of tears and crying, and also maybe you're happy or maybe you're at peace. So you don't have to always be in your feminine energy. Oh my gosh, something had actually happened with my bank and my business a couple weeks ago. My assistant and I were dealing with this for like a solid week, and it was so stressful that whole week I just felt so off. I felt so stressed. My back was so tight. I wasn't getting good sleep, and I just didn't feel creative. I felt a little bit behind on my to-do list for work. That is okay. That has been some of my biggest inner work, is making peace with that. Not every day is going to be perfect, and it is such a beautiful thing to be human. It is such a beautiful thing. So all of my down moments, I welcome them because I love being human. There's this quote that I love. It says, it's something like, to be human is the greatest gift because it means that you're truly living life. If you are not experiencing ups and downs of emotions, you're not truly living. Life is so short. So welcome those emotions, and yeah, just know that it's always going to get better. Oh my gosh, I remember my first breakup. I was like, this is never gonna get better. How come no one talks about how much this hurts? And I remember everyone around me would say, it's temporary, it's not gonna last. One of the only things that got me through my first breakup was talking to other women who have been through a breakup and seeing that they were okay. For me, with any area of inner work, whether it's money inner work or what you can do to expand your business, when I see another woman do it, it's like something switches, my rubber band stretches, and I know I can do it too. This is why I love women. This is why I love my Glow Print students especially, because they are here making changes, creating their YouTube videos, creating their dream coaching business. Every single woman that does this and shares it gives another woman permission to do the same. This is why I have the community private groups with every single course, because I love when the girls share their testimonies. They go, I just healed my anxious attachment style. For the first time, I don't have it with my partner. Or ladies, I just quit my job. I just had the courage to walk away and to start my dream business. Ladies, I just had my first coaching client. Sharing stuff like that with each other in these groups what they're doing, yes, they're connecting and it's beautiful sisterhood, but the intention that I created was I want their rubber bands to be stretched by each other. So my students are so powerful. I wish that you ladies could just see what they are doing in their business. If you are in my courses, please comment below what you are doing. If you want to share your website, share your channel, because I'm just so proud of you. And by doing that, you stretch each other's rubber bands. So why I was saying this, what was the question? Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on the question. Yeah, I forgot, but yeah. Okay, this is the last like personal question, then we'll move into the inner work. Could social media be considered an oppressor of liberty in any way to you? This is such a good question, and I almost didn't include this one, but I thought, no, this needs to be talked about. Hi. I used to think that social media, or actually yes, social media used to block my freedom. It used to keep me in a cage. Why? Because I was posting for other people. I was posting to get validated. Actually, no, I was posting for myself, but I would disguise it as I'm posting for other people because I would just crave their validation. When I was a teenager and when I was in college, my pictures were constantly selfies or it didn't have a purpose other than I crave validation. And so it kept me in a cage because it's never enough. It's never enough validation. There's always more likes to have, or sorry guys, I'm looking at my pool outside. There's a fish in the pool. My apartment complex is doing renovations to the pool. I don't know what's going on out there. But there's always gonna be another like that needs to be had or another follow. And once I let that go and I said, you know what? Like also too, I would try to curate my stories and my feed to be perfect and to look good. When I had really bad acne in high school, I would Facetune my pictures, I would smooth my skin. When I got to about 22, I stopped. And this is actually when I was starting posting on TikTok, because once I was sharing this message about women empowerment and helping women connect to their feminine energy, it's like these invisible chains came on me and I said, I cannot filter my photos anymore. I cannot post for validation because this is not feminine energy. This is femininity. It's trying to appear feminine. I was disconnected from my body and instead connected to everyone else's mind and opinion. So I took scissors, cut those cords, and I said, nope, when I post, I'm gonna post freely. If I wanna post a picture I'm not wearing any makeup, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna feel insecure. If I wanna post about my breakfast, I'm gonna do it. Like, you ladies have probably seen my Instagram stories over time just get so personal and free flowing. The other night, I posted something on my Instagram and I said, ladies, it's a Friday night for me right now. I'm just going through the women who have messaged me on Instagram. I'm just looking at their profiles. I'm just in awe of how much beauty is in this community. You ladies are so drop dead gorgeous. And I cannot believe that you get to be a part of, or that I get to be a part of your inner work journey. And so I was just in amazement. Like, there's so many stunning women. Like, ladies, you are so beautiful inside and out. And sometimes I just look at the women following me. I'm like, God, how have you blessed me with them? I just feel so lucky. And your hearts are so beautiful. So I posted this on Instagram that I was just in my apartment on a Friday night, just in awe of the beauty of this community. I wouldn't have posted something like that a few years ago because I would have been, this is weird, or this isn't something to post on a story. No, I literally post whatever I want on my story now. It's very free flowing. And I don't try to make it perfect. Like, I was in Greece this summer after the Greece retreat, and I ordered this delicious meal. It was octopus, it was a salad. I took a bite of the octopus. I love octopus so much. I took a bite and I'm like, shoot, I should have taken a picture for my Instagram. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a picture. My meal had a bite taken out of it and I took a picture, and it might not seem big, but for me that was big because it was letting go of the perfection. And that's what social media feels like for me now, is I get to show up, I get to be free. The more free I am, the more motivation I have to post, the better I feel, and the better response I actually get. Like, the way that you ladies interact with me, the interaction rate goes up so much more when I'm just posting freely. It's like, Yes, Alexis, I also did this workout this morning, or oh, this juice recipe is awesome, thanks for sharing it, or I also love this song, thanks for posting it. So I just feel like we're more connected to each other when we are more connected to ourselves. Okay, let's move on to the inner work questions. Hi, Gus. Gus is precious. Let's see if you guys can see him. Oh, it's okay, bud. It's okay. Hi. Okay, this next one says, what's something, oh wait, let me see it. What's something society taught you about femininity that you had to unlearn? This is such a golden question, such a golden question. I would say that something that I had to unlearn that society taught me about feminine energy is that feminine energy looks and feels a certain way. So what I learned about feminine energy at first is that it's a woman who's always put together, a woman who is submissive, a woman who is perfect and just looks good, smells good. Like everything about her is just so Marilyn Monroe-like. What I had to learn, and I'm so grateful that I learned, is that feminine energy has layers and layers and such a huge range for what it looks like and feels like. There are women like Marilyn Monroe who are beautiful and sexy and just so womanly in that way. And there are also women like, let me think of an example. Okay, so Jane, this woman from the TV show Jane the Virgin that I'm talking about, Jane, beautiful, smart. She's an author. Her heart, golden. So there's women who are so smart with writing and they're authors. There are women who are boss scientists. There are women who they're more of the innocent, like the light feminine energy. There's women like Fallon from Dynasty who embodies the dark feminine energy. There's such a range of feminine energy. Every single one of them is perfect feminine energy, and every single one of these identities you get to have. So that was a huge wake-up call for me. I thought feminine energy, like once you pick your archetype or whatever, you have to stay that way. No. A way that I love playing with this is with my outfits. So yesterday, my gym outfit was more dark feminine. It was black joggers, it was a brown, tighter top. It's more modest, of course, but it's more like masculine, you could say. Where today, I had a white top and I had ballerina pink leggings on. It was very light feminine, very ballerina-like. So I love playing with the range of my feminine energy that way. And also, this question would always break my heart when I first started coaching and teaching. Alexis, can I get tattoos and be in my feminine energy? Can I work out and bulk up and be my feminine energy? I'm like, where are you getting this idea about feminine energy? True feminine energy is how you feel on the inside. It is your soul becoming so radiant and coming to life. It is your inner beauty, that glow. Your inner beauty, your soul will outshine any high heel shoe, any flawless makeup look, any sexy outfit. A woman connected to her body and feeling good, feeling healthy, feeling confident, feeling so radiant in who she is will always outshine anything physical. I had said this a while ago on YouTube that your energetic beauty will always outshine physical beauty. And that is so true. So I had to unlearn that physical beauty created feminine energy. It's the other way around. And I know everyone says what's inside is beautiful. It's truly how you feel inside. Women that, maybe they're wearing like all black, but their energy is just so alive and so playful and free. She is so magnetic, where sometimes I've met other people who they have the perfect outfit, perfect hair and makeup, but there's zero personality. There's zero openness and love and play. So feminine energy is truly what is going on inside. That's why I love being a feminine energy coach, because every woman can turn this light on, and it's my favorite thing in the world to help her do that. Okay. How to stay in feminine energy while driving. This is hilarious. Okay, I definitely had to work on this, still working on it. What has helped me, okay, so I always tell you ladies that Imagine someone that cut you off. It's a husband on his way to take his wife to the hospital because she's in labor. That's what my mom always taught me. And deep down, it's giving people grace. It's giving people understanding, and it's letting go of control. So the more I release control as a part of my inner work, the less aggressive I've driven. I used to be very uptight when I was driving, and now I've just kind of let that go. Someone cuts in front of me, I'm like, you know what? It's gonna keep me from getting to my destination 2 seconds earlier than I would have. That is fine. I can spare 2 seconds. It's worth my heart rate not getting flustered. You know what might help is imagining if you get upset or aggressive while driving, you're draining your feminine energy. When you can drive in peace, you can just let people drive how they are, you're building your feminine energy because you're practicing releasing control, you're practicing letting people show up as they are. You can just turn on some music, you can sing, you can wear sunglasses, just play and have fun and really practice that patience. Okay, first date top tips. This is such a fun question. Okay, let me give a couple. So number one, go in with zero expectations other than I'm gonna play and make this the best date ever. So my expectation, let's say that it's a first date for me. What I will do is I'm not sitting there thinking, what questions should I ask him? I already know what questions I'll ask him. My body will tell me in the moment. Get out of the future, get out of the past, connect to the present. When he picks you up, what do you notice? And say it. Maybe he smells good. Maybe it feels so good to be in this car that he's picked you up in. Maybe you get to the restaurant and it's your favorite and you're so excited. Like really just express what is going on in your body, and then love to feel what is going on inside all day, every day. They're around masculine energy, which is logic to logic, mind to mind. When you can tell him what's going on in your body, this tastes delicious. It feels so good to be with you. I feel so happy to go on this date tonight. It just means the world to him, and men love feeling feminine energy. So I would say be present, play, like just let loose and have fun. The way that I see it is if there's a guy that let's say that there's a guy that I really liked and I really found attractive, and he's eating his food in a way that's like very careful because he doesn't want to spill on himself or he doesn't want to do anything embarrassing. To me, it's robotic, and I'm like, just be yourself. Like, enjoy the food. I don't care if it falls on your face. I'm not gonna like you any less. Men think that about us. You know what they cannot stand is when we're robotic and when we're like, oh, eating like this. No. If you ever hear men say, I love when a woman can just dig in and eat ribs or chicken wings, it's because it's that letting go of control where she's truly just herself. They love that. So just imagine you get to play. He's not gonna like you any less because you spill on yourself, because he can see your mouth while it chews. Just truly be yourself. Okay. 2 to 3 red flags in dating plus hot takes. I knew someone was gonna ask this. So 2 to 3 red flags. Number one for me, he doesn't have a faith of any sort. No connection to God, no connection at all. Because if he is not being led by God, he's probably being led by his ego, probably being led by the world. That is dangerous. I never, never, never want you to be with someone who does not trust that source higher than themselves. That is why my future partner, the standard is we have to share the same faith. So that's a red flag to me when he doesn't have a connection with God. It's not something that I look down on him like, oh, I can't believe he doesn't have that. It's just, we're not a match. It's a red flag for me because that's not what I'm looking for. It's like a flag going up going, this is not what you want, Alexis. You get to choose your red flags. Don't let people choose them for you. If something is a red flag to you, let it be a red flag. Let's see. Okay, so I had mentioned this. I said I was gonna put it in magnetically polarizing because on YouTube, I do have a bit more of a filter. In my courses, I do not. I literally just say whatever because my videos can't get taken down, and it's just like my students don't get triggered. When they join the course, they are ready for the deeper inner work. So I had said that this is more magnetically polarizing course content, but it is a red flag to me when a man that you are dating or a man that you are with is constantly sick. Now, I will say the exception to this is there's something wrong with his body, like an illness or a disease, very understandable. However, I believe that men who are always sick, it's a red flag, because it's almost this desire to be a victim that is so dangerous to me. A lot of narcissists have this desire to always be a victim. If you've been raised by a narcissist, or if you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, notice how they're always sick. There's always something wrong with their health. It's like, oh, why? And even deeper, if their body is sick, there's some inflammation, there's some sickness going on where they have blocked emotions that have not been healed, and now it's inflaming their body and making them sick. Someone who has not released their emotions, they're going to release it onto you in a way that is painful. Usually it's abuse, usually it's disrespect, usually it's judgment, putting you down. They have not felt their own emotions, and so you showing up healthy and in your feminine energy is going to trigger them. So run from any narcissist, run from men who are constantly victims. Those are big icks to me. Those are big red flags. But please hear this. Not everyone who is sick is a narcissist or is a desire to be a victim. I'm just saying, watch out for men who are always sick, always have some health issue going on. That's self-caused, if you know what I mean. We had a video last week where I talked about how to stop creating your own suffering. There's a difference between suffering that comes in life that you can't control versus self-created suffering. So it's kind of the same here, self-created sickness versus it's just a sickness that your body got as a part of your life journey. Okay, my dream is becoming a reality. Like, I'm flying business class for the first time. That's my girl. Why do I still feel sad sometimes? This is such a good question. And the answer is because we put so much hope in our happiness coming from reaching this goal, that when we reach it and nothing has actually changed in us, like we're still the same human being, the same soul, this sadness comes because it's disappointment that the feeling we craved was not actually captured. All emotions pretty much take 90 seconds to process. My first time flying business class, I was so nervous and scared and excited. It was such a big stretch for me financially. And I remember sitting on the plane. It was such a beautiful experience. It was Emirates Airlines. Everyone was so kind. However, I felt, this is it. Like, even, I've said this about YouTube too. When I first got that plaque for reaching 100,000 subscribers, I held the plaque. Yes, I was so excited and so grateful, but there's almost this feeling of, this is it? Like, this is what I thought would make me so happy, and I have it. I'm still the same at the core. Now there's the sadness that comes because it's disappointment that you don't truly feel differently. It's like when you get into a relationship, you think when you're single, I can't wait to be in a relationship. You get the partner, it's beautiful for the first 3 to 6 months. And then you go, I still feel the same. Like, I thought that this relationship would change me. And yes, it does change you, but at the core, you're still the same. And so the only way that you actually can change your feelings to be overflowing with joy and peace outside of any circumstance or physical thing is that relationship with God. When I am close to God, when I am connected to Him, I feel so radiant. I just feel peaceful. Like, I know my Father. My Father loves me. He sent His Son for me. He defines my purpose. Every door is opening for me that is in His will. He's protecting me from things that are going to potentially hurt me. He's closing doors that are not meant for me. He can see my whole path, and He's setting me up perfectly. Getting close to God, like, you know what, actually the first time that I cried with Gus was the second night that I had him. He was laying on my chest right here, and I was just looking at him, and I was holding him, and I was thinking, I'm gonna protect you, little guy. Like, I'm going to give you unconditional love for the rest of your life. And I get this feeling, this is when God speaks to you. I get this feeling, and Jesus goes, this is how I see you. And I just start crying, guys. Oh my gosh, even now I'm getting emotional, because that is true. Like, when you open your heart, even if you don't have a relationship with God, I hope that you never feel pressure, but I want you to just ask God, can you hear me? Can you give me a sign that you're there? I want to get to know you. Singing worship music, when I can feel the lyrics, hear his voice, like I'm singing to him, I feel, when you get goosebumps, I really feel like that's the Holy Spirit coming into your presence. That is how I feel singing to him and praying to him. And the other night holding Gus and feeling Jesus go, this is how I feel about you. Like, you're my baby that I hold, that I protect, that I'm taking care of you. And yeah, that is the only thing that gives you peace. I've had the $1 million business. I have had my dream car. I have lived in my dream apartment. Very, very grateful for all these things. I have everything, like dream friendships, everything. None of those have ever compared to the joy that I get from my relationship with God. Words can't even explain it, because you cannot put it into words. So yeah, I would say if you still feel sad after achieving things, know that it's very normal to feel that way. And I would see, how can you connect even more with God? Because that's where the true fulfillment is. And how can you still set goals and not put your whole identity in them? Because when your whole identity is in flying business class for the first time, you get it, and then you're like, who am I now? Like, what else do I do? So it's very normal, girl. I have absolutely felt this. You're not alone, and that's my advice for you. I feel very shy and even a little afraid around men I find attractive. What can I do about this? Beautiful question. So I heard a dating coach say this. I thought it was so genius, and he's spot on. He goes, you are your most attractive self when you don't like the person. It's true. Okay, this is more magnetically polarizing side coming out. When you don't like a guy, you treat him in a way that is disconnected from him and connected to you. You're not thinking about him. You're just flowing in your feminine energy. You're doing what feels good. You're doing your own thing. Men love this. They're obsessed with this. That is why when you don't like a man, he always likes you, because he likes this energy that you're in, detached from him, attached to yourself and to your feminine energy. So when there is a man that you find attractive, what I want you to do is imagine either way, it's all working out for you. If this is your man, he will come and chase you. He'll make you his. Or if he's not, someone else better is coming. That's number one. Number two is when you see him, you're going to imagine, you're going to tell yourself, I do not like this man. Because first of all, you don't even know him, so you can't actually like him. You could just like what he looks like, totally fine. But you don't like him. Either way, if he likes you, he will make it known. So what I want you to do, let's say that it is a gym crush. Stop putting yourself in front of him to see you at the gym. Stop dressing in a way that you think he will like. Stop doing certain workouts just in hope that he can see those glutes, girl, okay? All that kind of stuff. Don't do that. Imagine there's a man that, like, you would never even consider, like, maybe he's so not your type. Let's just say it's someone that's 60 years older than you is next to you. That's how you imagine this man. How would you behave if this was a situation? That's how I want you to behave around him. Because even if you are not looking at him, you are still energetically chasing him. When you're thinking, is he seeing me? Does he like me? You have to get out of his head, out of his body. You have to get back to your own. So when you can detach from him, act like you don't like him, act like he's not even there. I promise, if he likes you, he will make it clear. Okay? I remember too, the men that I have dated, like the last partner that I was in a relationship, I was not looking at him. I was not placing myself in his line of sight. He found me. I used to be one of those people that was so doubtful, like, but no, I need to make sure that he sees me. Nope, because that's saying I don't trust God. And if I was forcing my path to align with his, maybe I would have been doing that for a partner who was not meant to be with me. You are on the perfect path. When you are connected to your feminine energy, you are on the perfect path for your partner to then come and find you. I promise, if he likes you, he will make it known, okay? And if men are not approaching you, move to Dubai. No, I'm just kidding. Men do approach a lot here because they don't have that fear of rejection. The ratio of men to women here is 3-to-1. So men are like, I've got to shoot my shot, okay? There's 3 times as many men as there is women. And also it's natural for Middle Eastern men to approach women. It's just a part of their culture. They've never been programmed out of it like a lot of men in America have, a lot of men in the UK. So yeah, always feel free to change up where you're dating if that's not happening. But also, before you even do that, see if you can bring your feminine energy to life even more, because I promise when it's on, you will be like a radar. You will be like this beautiful reflecting mirror that constantly you're catching their eye. Okay. How to make more girlfriends. I actually have a whole video that I would suggest called How to Make Female Friends, what to look for in terms of values, and also where to meet them. But this is how I've met my friends here in Dubai. I'll kind of go over this because anyone who's just moved or you don't have anyone around you, I will give you the blueprint of how I have made my girlfriends here. It's been 1 year living here. I finally feel I have amazing, amazing girlfriends that I love, that I trust, and it did honestly take about a year. So where I've met my best girlfriends here, let's start with that. Church, social media, because we were connected before I moved here, and friends of friends, so mutual friends. Get a good church home because you will meet women there who they love God, therefore they will love you so beautifully. So what I do, friends that I've made through social media. I have friends, like for example, one of my friends, she's from the UK, she's also a coach, and when we both moved here at the same time, we thought, let's hang out. So we were friends online, then we met in person. I know it can be a bit uncomfortable, but you just have to do it where you have the actual date, and it's so good. It's always so much better than I imagined. So meet up with women that are friends online, like actually meet up with them in person. And this friend that I'm talking about, for her birthday, she got a yacht. So iconic. She got a yacht. She had this huge party. From there, I met now one of my other good girlfriends through her. So all of the people that you are connected to have other women that could potentially be your best friends. One of my best friends, Shaylee, I met her through another friend that we're both friends with. Now Shaylee and I are best friends, and it's so great. What else did I say? I forgot the third one that I said. But also, here's a very important tip. Don't be afraid to go up and approach women. Do not be afraid. My friend Chris that I had the picnic with yesterday at the gym, I just went up to her. And something that I talk about with a lot of my clients when they're like, I'm just scared of making female friends, this is what I say. I say, okay, imagine that you just did a workout class. You just did a Pilates class. There's a super cute girl, always dresses cute, takes care of herself. You see her at every class. And one day after class, she comes up to you and goes, you know, I always see you in here. What's your name? And then you tell her, and she goes, do you want to go out for coffee? Do you want to grab a matcha? Do you like brunch? Something like that. How would you feel? You'd probably feel like, yes, like I always see you and I'd love to be friends. That is what you need to do for other women. Sometimes you have to be the masculine energy doing the chasing. It is okay when it's female to female. So definitely don't be afraid to approach women. I love when women come up and they're just so friendly. We think a lot of women are so mean and standoffish. No, more women are open than you think. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there. So that's what I would say is get outside, like go to church, go to the gym, take workout classes, be in places that align with your values, that friends you would actually have close to you, they would also be in that place because they share the same values. For an example, a healthy plant-based brunch spot. If you're very health conscious, you're going to meet people there who also love taking care of their health. So put yourself in those places, and that's how you will meet your friends. How to express that you need more space in a friendship. Very, very honestly, and as soon as you feel that you need more space so that no more resentment grows. I'm a person who needs a lot of space. I'm more on the introverted side, and because of the time and energy that I dedicate to the feminine glow and to my clothing line, I need a lot of mental space because I feel like I'm always creating or working during the day. So let's say that I have someone who is constantly FaceTiming me. What I will say is, I would love to talk to you. However, I need some time this week to focus on my business, to recharge. How about we plan a FaceTime date for the next week or for the weekend? These are things that I've actually done, and my friends, they take it well. They're like, sure, no problem, cheering you on, anything that I can pray for you for. So be honest with your friends, tell them what you need. If one of my girlfriends came to me and maybe we planned a brunch and she called me, she goes, "Hey Alexis, it's just been such an overwhelming week. I really need a self-care day." My reaction is, "Girl, good for you. Enjoy it. I love you, and I'll see you when you're ready." So be honest with your boundaries and trust that when you communicate it, your friends are healthy and conscious enough. They're able to control their own emotions enough to give you that space and to honor it. So you're a better friend when you can have that space too. So never be afraid to ask for it. If a woman gets mad at you for asking for space, that is not your friend. I would never get mad at my friend for asking for that. What to do when your partner is consumed with work all day, every day? Yes, so when I was reading your question last night, the first thing that came to my mind is, girl, you need a new, mysterious, feminine energy hobby. Something like aerial silk yoga or a belly dancing class or a cooking class. What I want you to do is, you're not going to tell your partner, but you're going to go to this hobby. You are going to have so much fun. You're going to come back juicy, recharged, excited. He's going to be like, "Where were you all night?" You're going to be like, "Oh, I didn't tell you that I was doing a belly dancing class." And then you just go, you change clothes, go into the other room. He's going to come in there like, no, like, who's this new woman? I've never seen this side of you. And you're going to do little things where you pull yourself out of his presence, because first of all, what's happening when you're constantly aware he's working all day, every day, you're energetically chasing him because you're monitoring what he's doing, how often he's doing it. He can feel this, and the roles have switched. You're now in the masculine, he's in the feminine, being pursued by your schedule. So nothing wrong with that. I've been here myself. Switch it back around, girl. Get that juicy polarity back where you're in the feminine and he's in the masculine. Pull away from him so that he has no choice but to pull back to you. I have done this in a relationship where I felt like he's always working, and I would just disappear for a few hours, hang out with a friend, and then I would come back so happy, so recharged, not in a way that's like, I'm getting you back. It's truly like you're living and building a full life. And when I would do this, he would be all over me. He would cancel work. And literally, he would not go into the office. He would cancel work. He's like, "I'm gonna take you hiking tomorrow," or "We're gonna do this tomorrow." And so when you can build a life that is so full and complete, you don't have time to worry about how much he's working. In fact, I used to be an anxious attachment who was like, when is he coming home? Like, I don't know what to do with myself. I went from being that woman years ago to now, the discussion that I just had with one of my girlfriends is, I hope my husband is so busy, because I need time to live my full life. I need time to travel and go with my girlfriends. I need time to have my hobbies, to pour into my business, to pour into you ladies. I need time to go and explore and actually discover who I am and do that deep solo inner work. I hope he is so busy, that he has such a full and complete life. And yeah, I never thought that I would be able to be this woman, but now it's just who I am. So I love the time and space. When you can appreciate the time and space because you love your life, you are going to switch back to that feminine energy, and girl, you won't even remember that he has a job, and neither will he. Okay, I'm just kidding, but that's my advice. Maybe even start your dream business. I always suggest that. I think that is the best thing a woman can do for her feminine energy, is to start a business. It gives her financial freedom, which is the best freedom a woman can ever have, protects her, gives her abundance, recharges her, and also it gives you something that ignites your purpose and it fuels your creative energy. Your light for feminine energy turns on when you are following your purpose. And usually there's a dream business that is causing this. I was so amazed when I first started Divine and Aligned how many women wanted to join that program. It's my business program from start to finish. How to build your dream business, how to pour into it, how to balance your feminine energy, how to call in your dream clients, how to set your standards for your boundaries, how much you're paid, how to truly be soaking in so much abundance while running your dream business. And I was so surprised how that course was more popular and there was more excitement about it than my Master Your Feminine Energy course. I was like, wait, this is a business one. I didn't think that many people would want to join. But it's because when you've done inner work, almost always what I've seen from my students and clients is you cannot have a normal job anymore. You are not normal. Your life is not normal. The 9 to 5 feels icky because you have this feminine energy that's now been unlocked and she's dying to break free. So usually she doesn't like a boss. She doesn't like a cap on how much she is paid. And usually she starts a dream business because she knows and she trusts herself so much. She has this creative life force energy that wants to bring something to the world. So this is what I found is most women in their feminine energy want to have their dream business. So maybe girl, you can start your dream business. Okay, let's see. How to love yourself on bad days, even when you make mistakes. Okay, you know what? I want you to imagine, sorry guys. Okay, I was gonna pick him up, but he's so peaceful in his nap. Imagine Gus, okay, he's right here. Imagine he pees on the ground and he's so mad at himself. Oh, I couldn't hold my bladder. Am I gonna then come to him and be like, I can't believe you peed, bad, I'm trying to whisper so that he doesn't actually feel this, bad dog, that's so messed up, you should be so guilty. No, he is a puppy, he is a living being, so why would you ever do this to yourself? Like I said earlier, if you're not making mistakes, you're not human. Be human, welcome it. The more human you are, the more lovable you are. I had actually taught this in Divine and Aligned that there's so much research that shows that when someone stutters or they mess up or they show a flaw, there is this effect where people actually connect with them and love them more because they see this flaw. If someone is perfect and they have no flaws that can be seen, their audience does not connect with them on the same level that someone who shows their flaws does. So I was telling my students, I'm like, ladies, don't be afraid to show your flaws. Don't be afraid to mess up, to be wrong, or to have parts of yourself you're still working on, and to share that. People won't connect to you unless you do. So you have this little girl inside that is trying to learn the world. This is your first time here. When you make a mistake, like even I went to this event and I did this I said yes to participate in this activity that afterwards I'm like, that didn't really feel good. Like my soul just said that, like it just felt icky. And afterwards I was like, why didn't I trust my gut? And I was so mad at myself. And then I realized, Alexis, you're learning. Use this experience to next time go, remember how this felt when you didn't trust your intuition and you still chose to engage in this activity. The activity was nothing bad. It was G-rated, like nothing bad. It was just like, it was something in the law, like it felt very new age to me. And I was like, I don't want to do this. But I just learned from that experience and I'm like, God, please let me remember this next time and to not do it. So never feel bad about yourself. You are literally this little puppy, this little girl who is learning the world for the first time. And when you shame and punish yourself, it's like your little girl is going to be scared to tell you what she wants. If you have a parent who's constantly shutting you down when you mess up and when you play and when you get excited, you're not going to be as expressive. Love your creative energy so much that you would never do anything to threaten it coming alive. When you shame and don't love yourself and put yourself down, that's what you're doing. And know that literally God sent his son, his baby into the world to die for you, to give you eternal life. That for me goes, nothing I can do will ever make me feel like I'm not enough, because I was enough for God to sacrifice his son for. I'm enough for God to go, you are my precious daughter. This is everything that I have for you. Okay. Tips for binge eating or overeating when stressed. Yes, my friends and I talk about this because two of my best friends, Shelby and Andy, we met because we're in the modeling industry together. We were all signed with the same agency, and unfortunately, there's a lot of eating disorders in the modeling industry. So I've definitely been here. The binge eating part and the overeating. Once I learned that, actually, you know who has a very, very good video on this is the Wizard Liz. I don't know the name of the video, but it's something about binge eating. And she shares, love her vulnerability. She shares her struggle with it and how she overcame it. She said that her binge eating was almost as if there was this demon inside of her. Every time she would binge eat, she was feeding this demon. And so it wasn't out of love. It was this impulsive, controlling part of her that when she would binge eat, she would feed and it would grow and it would have more control. Such a beautiful analogy, the way that she put it. And so she says that she starved the demon. And what I'm trying to say here is that recognize that it is a shadow part of you. Don't look at it as I hate you, I can't believe that we keep overeating. Look at it as my baby, my shadow. You don't have to hide anymore. Nothing you can do will ever make me stop loving you. You're telling this to your whole self. I accept every part of you. Okay, we binge eat and we overeat. Okay, this is something that we're gonna work on. Why do we do it? What is the feeling that we look for? What is the emotion right before we binge eat that we notice we feel? Is it stress? Is it insecurity? Is it feeling overwhelmed? Is it anxiety? Is it happiness? What do you feel that triggers the binge eating? That's number one. Now, how you can start to change that, replace the habit. This is one of the best things that you can ever do to overcome a bad habit. Replace it. Stephen Bartlett talks about this in The Diary of a CEO, 33 Laws of Business and Life. It doesn't work to go, I'm gonna change this habit. Nope, you have to replace it. So earlier, Gus was eating the carpet, and I was like, Gus, I kept moving his mouth. I'm like, don't eat that, bud. He kept going back to eat it. So finally, I took a little bone and I replaced it instead of the carpet, and he started eating the bone instead of the carpet. When you replace the habit with a good one, your body goes, okay, we're still moving, we can still release this emotion. Now we just have a different source. Go for a walk, turn on a belly dance workout on YouTube, my favorite. Call a friend, journal. Even so, what might help is go, okay, tonight when I feel the emotion, I'm gonna promise myself for the next 24 hours, I'm just gonna try this new routine. So tonight, maybe you go, oh, I really, really wanna overeat after dinner. Stop yourself, what's the emotion? Okay, what am I gonna replace it with? Have your habit picked out in advance. I'm gonna go for a walk, great. Go for that walk, and then say, you know, tomorrow, if I really, really wanna binge eat or overeat, I will, but tonight, I'm just gonna promise to myself that I can do it. Notice the next day, maybe you won't wanna binge or overeat, maybe you will, but you have taught yourself 24 hours prior, when you want to do it, you really could. If you do this again and again and again, you choose different days, I'm gonna honor my body fully today, 1% at a time, you're teaching your body, we no longer get controlled by the binge eating. We release control. It's okay for us to feel this emotion. We don't have to try to stuff it away, or we don't have to try to push it back down. Anxiety, you can be felt. So that's some of my advice. I feel like I didn't answer that fully for you, but please know that you're not alone, and try that, see how you feel, and know that your body deserves the most love, the most nourishment that it can have. I like to ask, is this gonna hurt my body or is this gonna heal it? Okay, let's do 2 more questions. What time is it? So if you had no money, actually no, let's save this one for last. Ever since my husband started providing fully, my business has gotten slower. Any tips? Yes, I actually see this a lot. So what has happened is there's no more creative energy because you feel content. Contentment is the biggest killer of creative energy. What I want you to do is to almost stretch your rubber band. So let's say your husband is providing everything for you, but you have your business. I want you to go, we're only making $10,000 a month. Oh my gosh, we should be making 50 grand a month. So in your mind, you might be thinking, my bills are paid, he's taking care of everything. I want you to switch and go, actually, no, we are not okay. We are way behind on our goal. Let's see how we can kick it up. So stretch your goal, give yourself a new one. I like to do this financially because it's very easy to track and it's very easy to start making money. Way easier than we think. I have a whole program on this. It's called the Gold Vault. It's all my money inner work. It's very easy to start making more money. You just have to decide and you just have to allow. And so when you can decide, my new goal is 50K. Okay, let me actually read this quote from my gratitude journal the other day. This is from yesterday. When you decide I'm gonna make 50K, this is what happens. This is my quote from my gratitude journal. I posted this on my story. It says, man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. And I was like, oh my gosh, rubber band theory, posted it for the Glow Girls. So when your mind is stretched by 10K was great, we're being provided, everything's content. Wait, I'm not making 50K, but other people running this similar business are, I'm behind. Now your mind is stretched and you have all this room to start growing. that's when the creative energy comes back. When I was broke, when I was at my restaurant job, when I was not loving my life, that's when I had the most motivation for my business. Oh my gosh, I would read before bed. Even getting home from my job at 11 p.m., I'd be reading a personal development book. I was constantly working on my business, constantly on my computer and setting up my website and everything. And now it's like I work 2 hours a day and that motivation has dropped because I've become content in a lot of ways. Something I'm working on too. But once I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's contentment that blocks growth. That's how you switch it. So you have to get that fire back by giving yourself a new goal and going, actually, not everything is as I want it to be in my business. Let's kick it up a bit. Okay, last question. If you had no money, how would you start a business? I think it was Grant Cardone who did this TV show or something, like a YouTube series where, hi cute stuff, let's pick you up for this last one. Where Grant Cardone, multi-millionaire, huge successful business owner, and he did this he did like this YouTube series where they put him out on like the streets of New York or something, and he had no money, and I think in 30 days, I'm so sorry if I'm telling part of his story wrong, in 30 days, he went from making no money to, I think, becoming a millionaire. And so he knew that he could make $1 million once, so he could do it again. And that it unlocked some part of my mind where I went, oh my gosh, there's infinite possibilities for money and for business and what you can do. What I would do to start today, start creating content. We are in the golden age where every single person in this world who has a cell phone can make money, can start their dream business. You have to have courage. You have to have trust in yourself. You have to let go of other people's opinions, and you have to be connected to your feminine energy to know what to create. Let your heart guide and lead you. And I tell my business students in Divine and Aligned that if you are trying to start your business, you don't have a job, and you're scared financially, start making content for other brands. Do UGC content creation, user generated. Go to websites like Upwork or Fiverr and freelance. Tell businesses, I will make an advertisement for you. You want me to promote your supplement company? Okay, here's how I make my videos. Become good at speaking and communicating and getting comfortable in front of the camera. And your possibilities for what you can make financially will be infinite. So that's some of my advice is pretty much every business can use some sort of content creation. That's where I would start. Okay, ladies, this has been so much fun with you. I love the chit chat Q&As. I think Gus loves them too. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful questions that you have sent in and for hanging out with me and Gus today. Say bye, babe. Bye. Bye, ladies. I love you.